All right, welcome back to another story time. Let's get into it. All right, so today's story is about the time my friend overdosed. Oh my gosh, what a hectic story. Let's get into it. Okay, so it starts off as a regular Halloween morning. I'm going to school. I meet up with all my friends. Yada yada yada. We're making plans. And they're like, hey, bro, I got some tequila. Do you want some? And I'm thinking, and I was like, you know what? Let's skip class. Let's go drink. So I'm not saying that this is a good idea, and I'm not telling any of you to be doing anything illegal underage. Wait till you're overage. Obviously, that's a smart thing to do. Anyways, let's get back into it. So there's about one, two, three, maybe five of us. All right, I'm not gonna name names, but the person who overdosed, I'll just call him X. All right, so I'm with five people, like I said, including myself, and we're walking along, and we're like, hey, what should we do? You know, where are we gonna go? So initially, we're like, hey, let's go get some more alcohol because we just ran out of this one. So we go to the store, and two of us go in. I believe it was X and somebody else, and one of them was watching, and one of them was stealing. They ended up taking like four bottles. They were half gallons too, so like considerable bottles. I distinctly remember like two of them being Captain Morgan, and one of them was like the extra spiced one, which like just tastes completely horrible. But anyways, we're like, yeah, we got the alcohol. Like, what else should we do? And I was like, hey, maybe we should go get some ketamine. And they're like, ketamine? And I was like, yeah, I've been doing it for the past few weeks. It's so good. I know where to get it. We can get it for free right now. And they're like, bet, 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 bet. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And so on the way, I was explaining to them, like, how strong the ketamine is, and you should only be taking a little bit, And at this time, we were drinking on the street on the way to the ketamine guy. And honestly, I don't know how we didn't get caught by the police, because there was five underage children holding half gallons in their hands drinking. Crazy night. Anyways, we end up getting the ketamine, and they're like, hey, we should probably find a place to go do it. So we ended up going to this place called Craig's Hill, where I used to live, and I'm the one holding the ketamine. I have all the ketamine in my pocket because I was the one that did the transaction. So I bring it up to X because he's the one that paid for it. I'm just the one that got it. So I'm like, I open it for X, and I'm about to feed it to him, right? And this man, because he was so messed up, little did I know he was on some more stuff. But we'll get on to that later into the video. But this man takes the whole point of ketamine to himself, to the face. Which, if you've never taken ketamine, it's a horse tranquilizer. It's very strong, and you can overdose very easily on it. So, yeah, at this point, I was very, very scared of what was going to happen. He got very intoxicated, like, very quickly off the ketamine. Like, I don't know how it hit him so fast, but literally within, like, 5 minutes, he was completely out of it. He was still able to stand. He was still able to talk a little bit, but like X was not there whatsoever. And two of his friends that he considered really good buddies were like, hey, let's be blood brothers. I got this huge knife. So two of X and the one other guy that suggested it fucking cut their hand, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're blood brothers, yada yada yada. And then literally after that, this man starts to OD. He passes out on the fucking bench, goes slump, and then and then everybody else leaves. So I was stuck with X and somebody else and myself, and two other people had left. So X was completely out from the ketamine and the alcohol, and then the other guy was just fucking fucked up from the alcohol. And so I'm like dealing with two people overdosing on alcohol poisoning, overdosing on alcohol and ketamine. So I'm like freaking out. I didn't know what to do. And by the grace of God, one of my friends shows up out of nowhere. And I am panicking. I am panicking so hard at this moment. I'm like rubbing on his chest, trying to get him to come to. And this guy was like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years older than me. And he had worked for the circus on and off. So he was very like physically fit. He was very muscular. So I was like, we need to get these guys over to the park because I had free water over there. And I was thinking maybe if we get some water over into their system, that it would like override them and make them throw up a bunch. So that in my head, that's what my plan was. So I was like, hey, I need you to carry him because he's a lot heavier. And I'm going to carry X. So we start doing that. And Craig's Hill, where we were at the bottom of it. And there's a bench. And there's a bunch of stairs that go like this. Up, 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 up. Zigzag like that. And initially, when I grabbed Joseph, everything was fine. I was very drunk at this moment. So I accidentally dropped him when we were going up the stairs. And he fell back, hit his head on the side railing, fell like this, and then hit his head again on the fucking concrete, and he started throwing up. So I was like in super panic mode. So I got a bunch of adrenaline and just picked his ass up, carried him up the stairs. We started walking to the park, and we eventually get there, and me and my friend that just showed up out of nowhere, we were like contemplating like, hey, should we call the cops? Should we call the cops? This, that, and the other. Because at this time, we thought everything was going to be okay. You know, we thought we could like get him to come to, but I really started to panic when he stopped breathing. So I attempted to give him CPR. And when that wasn't working, I started calling all of my friends. And I had a bunch of people show up. And I love all of y'all for coming out to try to help me. And this is where it gets fucking crazy, okay? So we eventually call 911 because like his heartbeat is not going whatsoever. So the ambulance comes and they're like, hey, don't worry. We are not going to get anybody in trouble. We're just trying to save lives here. And so we're like, immediately, yada, 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 yada. He's fucked up, this, that, and the other. So they take him, they take X, and they take the other guy, which he was like by a bathroom, like hiding outside of it because I had kind of had like a wall because he was scared he was going to get in trouble by the police because he had just previously got in trouble for being drunk underage. But anyways, I had a bunch of friends show up, right? X goes away. They get the other guy that's behind the wall and they take him to the hospital. And then I had another friend show up and he's like, hey bro, I've got a Halloween party you want to go to. And I'm like, dude, I literally just been through one of the most stressful things in my whole entire life. Like my friend was dying in my arms, you know, it was crazy, but I accepted because I was like, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel like scared. I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to feel anything right now. So I was coming down off the alcohol that I had previously had. So I was like, you know what, why not? So we end up going to my house and I got some cash. And I was like, all right, let's get some weed first. So we went over to the plug and I got some AK-47. I remember that very distinctly because it was some really fire weed. But anyways, we walk, I don't know, a few miles to go to the party. And then when I get there, everybody's already completely smashed. When I mean smashed, like, people aren't talking right. People are holding on the walls like, ugh. But immediately when I walk in the door, my other homie is like, yo, call it, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, let's take some fucking shots. So I take, you know, those double stacked shot glasses that hold 2 shots. Yeah, well, I took 2 of those. So that was 4 shots right off the bat. And they're like, and I was like to everybody, yo, I got some weed. So everybody went into the back room. We started smoking. This is where it gets a little hazy because I'm not really remembering because I blacked out really, really bad that night. But I do remember walking in on my friend having sex with this girl that's never had sex with before. And it was completely mutual. But the weird thing about it is that another person was in there watching them. And I ran out of that fucking room and I told everybody what was happening, and everybody freaked the fuck out. And this is where the shit goes on, all right? So I fucking got very sick after that. Like, I don't know, it just fucking hit me all of a sudden. So I went into the bathroom and I started throwing up all over the bathtub. And while that's going on, some domestic violence happens. And there's this one guy that was there. And he was completely fucking shit-faced. But he started to attack people. And the guy that was having sex with the girl was the homie that came and rescued me and helped me carry the other two to the park. So it was really wild. But anyways, he was the one that fucking was defending the other girl from getting beat on by this guy that was doing domestic violence. I was not aware of any of this. People were telling me about this. But anyways, we're getting to the end here. I blacked out, came to somebody opening the bathroom and be like, the cops are coming, the cops are coming. So I just bolt out. And yeah, I don't really know what happened after that. I do know that I went home and passed the heck out. So yeah, if you guys like this, I know it's a little bit longer because it was just a lot to talk about. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And on to the next one. Peace.